that I'd go ahead and work on this. So, for those of you watching the recording, this is a live stream on Ustream. So, if you hear me talking, it's the people in the chat. And today I'm going to work on a mixed media canvas. It's a 16 by 20, and it's for a baby's room. So, I have pulled some of my papers and kind of just laid out what I wanted. This is maybe how it'll end up. But I know she's decorating the room vintage, and his name is Max. He was born last night at 9 p.m. on my husband's birthday. So I'm going to take the top layers, and I did take a picture with my cell phone so that I have something to reference when I get down to it. I hope that rub-on works. All right, so, and I already painted the sides of the canvas last night and let it dry. So I'm just gonna, it's a bronze. I used the acrylics Heavy Body by Reeves and just put that on the sides and blistered it. I know I want that paper here. So I'm going to start marking where I want it before I take it off completely. We went out, ran errands. It's gorgeous. You don't need a coat. It was gorgeous weather today, so it was a good day to go get some stuff done. I'm going to tweet that I'm live. Sometimes you just can't have enough desk. I went to Barnes and Noble. I have a gift card, and I went to go get that book that Cass was using the other night with the pictures in the black and white that were already shaded, but they didn't have it in the store. They have it online, but they didn't have it in my store. So I ended up walking out and not getting anything. Decided just to save my money and order what I had actually wanted. Yeah, I looked at some of the coloring books and they all were just small and I just don't like. And I really like what Kathy's done with all those faces and thought that would be fun to try. They had the big set of the Prismacolors on sale here for on Amazon for $147. I considered ordering them, but then I decided that that was just excessive. I didn't really need them. I wanted them, but I didn't really need them. Yeah, none of them really have what I'm looking for. I don't want that really tiny. I want stuff that I can easily cut up and use as an embellishment. And so often they're really tiny. I'm just trying to push some of the air out. And I looked at magazines and thought about buying a magazine. And then I thought, no, I'll be done with it in 20 minutes. Oh, that's going to have to still have a couple air bubbles I can see. Hi, Colleen. Oh, your bird was looking gorgeous when I saw it, Carrie. I just got to peek in and then I ended up leaving again, so. Now Paula is still gonna record broadcast tonight, right? That was just testing her internet connection. Okay, that's what I thought. I was just making sure. I know that this is going over on this side. think that's going to be covered up, but it's decoupage. Kind of like Mod Podge, but made by Deco Arts. I'm just trying to get a base layer down. It's for a little boy's nursery. And it's a 16 by 20. Hi, Sandy. Pull that down real quick, get some glue without hitting the camera. I wanted that dictionary paper to wrap around the side, and then this is directions for an old pattern, a kid's pattern that I'm going to use. And I want it to hang over the side too. Okay. And then this is the other piece of the pattern. This is scrapbook paper on the bottom. And this is directions to an old sewing pattern. Was a kid's sewing pattern. That I just tore up to use. And I'm just using an old gift card to make sure there's good wrinklage and no bubbles. Alright, so I think that's a pretty good base. I'm gonna look at my picture real quick. This is a jelly print that I'd done to look like burlap. Had a white layer, a black layer on it, but it disappeared in with the browns. But I really like the texture on it. I did several browns and glazed it on the jelly plate and combed it and let them dry and then did another layer. All right, and I think that I'm going to let this circle hang over the edge a little. I think I don't like to color enough because I look at those books and I just can't find any of them that I want to sit down and do that tedious of work. But I did take my photograph from, I have a big piece that I'm supposed to be doing, which I've been avoiding. It's in an Italian city street. But I took and figured out if I did, and broke it into 16 pieces in paint and cropped and saved each piece and did 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, and then a second row. And I did 4 rows of 4 and saved them. So I have 16 pictures and I'm going to print them on a full page and cut and glue them together and then make me a template to trace the lines for that city scene. Maybe then I can, once I get it on the canvas, it's not so much about painting it. It was about getting all those lines. Because it was like this street in Italy that was 2 old buildings and then went upstairs and there you looked at 2 other old buildings and it was really pretty. But it had all these crazy roof lines and shutters and doors. And the final size is like 31 by 39. It's going in an old window. And this was like a flashcard that somebody had given me in Happy Mail. Yeah, I traced it and tried to draw it, and then I got frustrated, and then I just kind of kept avoiding it. And I had watched somebody else's video, and it was like, aha, eureka, I could do that. And then it won't be as hard. Maybe there won't be as much struggle. And then most of this is just little pieces of ephemera that I pulled out. Ange sent me him in Happy Mail. Isn't he cute? Yeah, that was probably hard. All those lines. Okay. I find these go together pretty fast when I plan. Like I pulled a bunch of stuff, and then I just start throwing it on the canvas dry and until I like the layout. Hi, Claire. I did get my tags done for Jen's postcard swap, except for I think I want something on the top of them as a focal image, but I just haven't decided. I need something kind of steampunk. I just haven't figured out what yet. I thought about maybe going and buying a stamp. All right, this is a rub-on, and it's old. So, who knows? I'll put something hard under the canvas to push against. If I can just get it started and get it to release on one end. Let's see. This is my stylus. See if that. And maybe too soon too. Oh no, it's starting to come. Yeah, it's too soon, so I'm gonna cut the second half off and just do the sweet right now. I think I can get that down without losing too much of it. All right, that's not too bad. It was a little not dry enough. I'll do the other part later. Let's see. Look at my picture again. Hi, Emma. All right, and this is my little boy that I'm going to do. So I have him already in white. So I'm going to put him on. Just want to give him a real good coat back and forth and let him dry. We're making a 16 by 20 canvas. It's a gift. One of the teachers that I work with had a baby last night. Hi, Dixie. Hi, Kathy. And what I did first was last night I painted it with bronze around the outside of the canvas. And I'll probably antique that a little bit. And then I laid down some scrapbook paper, sewing pattern from a children's sewing pattern. And now I'm just adding some of the ephemera that I pulled, some vintage ads, a card, like a, hi CB. And so I'm just trying to get a base layer down, and then I'm going to paint this little boy. And it's for her nursery. And put a coat over that. And I have a quote for it that I'm going to put up in here somehow. I'm thinking right here underneath. I just mounted, it was a vellum sticker that I had in my stuff from scrapbooking. And I just put it on white cardstock. And it just says, a bundle of joy has entered our home and filled our hearts with love. You were sent to us a precious gift, a miracle from above. You gave us hope, and we prayed each day that what we will do what's right to make your life a happy one and filled with delight. So I want to try to keep that not as wet since it's vellum on the sticker. Otherwise, it'll just curl. It's the one thing about vellum that is frustrating. Yeah, the kids pick. Well, what I'll end up doing, CB, is when this is all dry and cured, I'll use my Faber-Castell pit markers and paint him. He won't actually go on here, the black and white photograph. I'll paint him in. So right now I'm just kind of getting the background ready, and I'll probably put in my drop shadows, and then I'll probably let him dry overnight. I don't really like to use my pit markers on the gel medium too soon because I know I'm going to ruin them. But yeah, there's a picture of, he was a little Russian boy, or Ukraine, I guess. He's had some kind of Slavic language on the bottom of the picture that I cut him out. And he's wearing like a little sailor suit. So I thought that that would be cute because she's doing vintage, and I didn't want to do anything too babyish, that this would last in the room longer in the nursery. And I've already given her a couple other pieces that it'll go with that we did. Now I have letters for his name. And I got a rub on that I'm going to put over here in a few minutes that says, Sweet Dreams, Darling. But I need that to be drier. But I have his name, Max, that I thought we could stick somewhere. And then I also have some of these, they're stickers that look like the little metal buttons on jeans. And I thought about putting some of them somewhere, maybe on this jelly print. Let me dry it a little bit so it's not so tacky. And then I can move it around a little more. So heat gun. Couldn't decide what color I wanted on the sides. So last night I had like a cream. And then I tried to go with more of a sepia. And then I thought, oh, I'll try the copper or a bronze. And that's what I ended up with. I'm not sure if I wouldn't have been happier with my first choice of just going cream. But I think once I age it, yeah, his name is Maxium, but they're going to call him Max. And she didn't really do a theme in the nursery. She just did vintage. All right, I think that's dry enough to move that stuff around. So I thought about, I need to cut the M out. These are stickers, but I didn't like the other. I thought about just putting Max down here, real subtle. But the other thought was to put Max up here in these little boxes. And maybe I even want to put like a little one of these. These are on a sticker too, so they, that was one thought. Yeah, a poodle named Max. So I thought about sticking those in some of the squares. Or the other thought was to do some of these just as an embellishment. Down on this side of this. I think I like it down the side for the little buttons. And I think I like Max down here. And the Dreams is going to go in here. I don't know. The name's about the only thing I'm not sure about. So I definitely like these down this side. Because I like that linear. Everything's going this way, and I like something going up and down. Before they have, yeah. Like my fifth graders, they all have opinions. Ten going on 30. All right, I like that. I could just do his name at an angle too, possibly. All right, I'm going to wait on his name for a minute. And I'm going to attempt to get this other rub-on to come off. And if I thought about it, I should have put the rub-on on the paper before I put it on the canvas. It's really hard to, it's like stamping on a canvas. Sometimes it's really hard to get a good impression. So what I'm going to do is take the gift card and put it under the canvas and tuck it in and push up. And I'm just using a stylus. To try to get it started. Oh, that's good. Released a lot better. But like I said, these are real old. And I had problems with the sheet. Use it or lose it, I keep saying, and I have learned on more than one occasion that some of this stuff is just doesn't have a good shelf life. But I really don't care if it's a little broken or cracked. And this just says darling in a different text. This one's almost on the wood, so it should have a little bit. All right, so that's that. Now it's, yeah, the ads, I thought and this was like soap, and this was like an something about advertising about a baby, and I don't know what they're actually advertising, but it was like a booklet or a pamphlet. All right, so I keep leaning towards down here in the corner. Yeah, I think the blue will pop because his jacket will be blue. Get some of this glue off the tip of my fingers. Okay. This one's paper, it's not a sticker. I wish I had more of that paper. I loved those. They were so good for just like a little pop of black. And I'm going to give him another coat. Because he's got to be really slick. All right. Heat gun. Don't have too many bubbles this time. Yeah, hopefully it'll last like the last one I had. These edges I never rolled down on the top. Yeah, it's kind of a fleur-de-lis pattern on it with hot pink. Ange has the same one. It's a Recollections. So it was like $20, and then I used my coupon for 40% off. Yeah. Well, how could I mean, it's moving and you really can't tell that it's not an animal print. I would probably like it better if it was animal print, but it's pretty. Okay, so that's pretty much dry. I'm gonna start, well, clean up a little bit of stuff. Alright, I thought that I would start on some of the areas that I know are dry with a gray and a brown. I want to kind of age somewhere where this bronze paint is and the edges. And just give it, and all I'm using is the dark gray. And then a little moisture to move it usually. Let me get a baby wipe. Yeah, it's got some paint on it, but I'm messy, but I'm neat. I'm messy with the glue. I'm real messy with the glue. And I've had it maybe 3 or 4 months when the other one just bit the dust. And all I'm doing, it's hard to see the side, is I'm just taking the side of the marker and then with wet fingers blending. And some of that gray will go down in the, just to kind of grunge up that copper. I don't know if you can see. And then I can just take and move it around and then pull back. And I've got to till it dries, and then once it dries, it's permanent. And then I'm probably going to add some of the brown too. And then I'm going to get out. This is Stampin' Up. It's one of the, like a 4 texture. And it looks like the paper's been pitted. It's been sitting in an attic. which probably doesn't show up on the camera. I think that's enough of that. Yeah, it's a bronze. It's Reeves. It's a set of 4 acrylic. I really like them. They weren't very expensive. I got them at Joann's and used my coupon. And there's a silver, a gold, a copper, and a bronze. And it's hard to tell the bronze and the copper apart. I'm almost out of the copper, so I went with the bronze. The copper's just got a little bit more of a red hue to it. But like I said, I use the copper a lot. I use it with, usually I use the copper and add a little bit of the Liquitex Cambium Deep Red, which I am out of. I bought Deep Red Artist Loft, but it's awful. I'll use it, but it's not opaque at all. Well, it says translucent if I'd read the bottle, but in basics, it's opaque. And I just assumed that it would be similar, but oh, yeah. Because, I mean, at Joann's, if you get a nice lady to check you out, they'll let you use your 60% off coupon or your 40%, whichever one it is that you have, on your phone, on the app. And they'll let you go to the website and pull up the coupon on the website. So they'll let you get 2 items at one time with the coupon. And they'll take the competitors' coupons also. I don't buy as much at Joann's, but the ladies there are really nice. I tend to buy a lot at Michael's. Like, I buy all my canvases at Michael's. But I get all my frames at Hobby Lobby because they're a better deal for framing. Like, when I get this one done, I'll take it in, and for $2.50, they'll wire the back. They'll put in the D brackets, the wire, the little dots. They'll cover it with paper if I want. No, Hobby Lobby is not as nice. And neither is, well, Hobby Lobby, it's 40% off, period. That's the only coupon they ever have. And you use it once, and you have to be careful because sometimes you'll buy things and you don't know it's on sale. And then they won't take the 40% off. Michael's, it kind of just depends who you get. If they'll let you use multiple. Hi, Carol. It just kind of depends who you get. But yeah, my Joann's, the ladies at my Joann's are really nice. I'm going to turn this upside down so I can get to the other side and keep aging. I don't really want to touch him. What I'll do is I'll stream tomorrow and I'll paint him tomorrow. I'll find if there's a time when it's not busy and nobody's streaming. But I want him to dry, and plus I know Xandra will be on. Well, and I didn't realize that Blitsy online will take the coupons from Hobby Lobby and Joann's and Michael's. And some of their stuff's already on sale so high that, because I was looking to get in a big jelly plate from Blitzy, and then I convinced myself that it was excessive and I really didn't. I felt guilty and not to do it. So I talked myself out of it. Yeah, yeah. I'll just see what's going on. Um, but I'll definitely put pictures. It just depends. You know, some like today I thought there'd be no time. Did I don't think Jean streamed though. I thought she was going to Jelly Plate. Yeah, for Blitzy. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I saw something on Facebook and that somebody was saying that they had bought the minis or the they got the 6x6 Jelly Plate for $10. And I don't have the 6x6, and I thought, well, I kind of like that size. And I went on to look, and they had the big one on sale. And then if I'd used my coupon, it would have made it, like, it's normally $72 for that big plate. It would have been like $42 plus shipping. And I just convinced myself that was selfish and I really shouldn't be spending that money, because I already have an 8x10, the 2 rounds, a 5x7, the 3x5. I'm not buying the minis. After I saw Patty use them, I'm not interested in them. I don't see that they do anything that I couldn't already do with the stencil or cutting up existing prints. So I just wasn't impressed with. I think it's hard to get too little paint. There's a place where you go in, CB, that you have to just put the coupon code. You know how the coupons have a code on them? And it was easy enough to do. Yeah, I'm not sure Jean was feeling good. She may have stayed up doing an audio book. All right, and I'm gonna. This is just like a raw umber on this marker. But it's not moving what I did with the stamp earlier, because that's already dried. And I am going to hit some of these wrinkles to try to accentuate the wrinklage. It's kind of wet over here, so I got to avoid where he's at a little bit. Plus, I don't want to rub anything on him. I need to keep him white. I was trying to knock some of the white down on this paper. there was not a thick layer of gel medium over here, which is why it did not blend very well. Not Claire. Go a little heavier with the water on it. That's why you got to make sure that you have a good layer of the gel medium before you use the markers. Because what I didn't put a top coat over here of the gel medium on this edge so the marker wouldn't slide. And that doesn't work with any of the other markers, any other brands. The alcohol markers will not do this. They will not be permanent. And I'm just adding like a wet layer. It'll kind of protect and seal what I've put on there. Should be almost time for Sandra to stream, isn't it? Yeah, it sinks into the paper like a regular marker if it's just on raw paper. It'll act just like a marker. It will not slide. Which and you have a few minutes when it's wet to move it around or to remove it. But once it dries, then it's permanent because it's India ink. And I just like to put another coat on top just to seal it in, even though it's permanent, but it's on that polymer so it could scratch off. Oh, is Xander not streaming tonight? All right. I think he's pretty well aged. I like the patina that I've gotten. I could go around these letters, but because these are stickers, I'm not really going to. I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to dry this, and I got something on him over here. And he seems dry enough. Once this is dry, that I can go ahead and start. Oh, I guess it's Sunday. Yeah, I guess it's Wednesdays that she's in front of Paula. But I really like using the pattern. I mean, I like using the tissue, but I really like using the directions because it's a big piece of paper. I like, well, this is such a big canvas. It's hard to get enough continuity of the paper, and not even like 12 by 12 gets is so small. And I was trying to give the impression that this kind of continues under here. But dictionary print's also another favorite thing I like to use. Okay. These are the same markers, they're just the smaller. And I can get a finer line. I realized I didn't do anything over here on this. This is just a lighter gray. Okay. And I am going to cheat a little today. Just to speed it up. So sometimes what I'll do, like I don't want to get any navy. In this white area. So I'm going to put my line where his jacket ends. Because I'll work inward on those. It'll just help me go a little faster. And all I'm going to do is get a base of the blue in. And then I'll worry about coming in and adding the details. His jacket's got like a pinstripe. Yeah, decapitated. Yeah, he's lost his. But I save it because you got to use all these parts. As a reference. A lot of times I don't cut them apart. It just depends if I'm in a hurry and how complex the piece is. And if I get something in an area I don't want, I just wipe it back. Because I have until it dries. And I'm looking at the jacket. Yeah, he's smiling. I'm looking at the jacket because I'm trying to see how the fabric's laying so that I can kind of get my strokes in that same. Now, sometimes what I'll do is cut, and I considered this because I had a blue, and I considered cutting his jacket out of scrapbook paper and laying it down and then shadowing it. And that's what I do if I want to print. But I will tell you that usually when I do them, I use the 6x12 for their clothes. You see, and I considered using this as his jacket. And I considered the black as his jacket, but I didn't like the black on the canvas. And I thought this was too turquoise that I would just paint him. But the scale is better on the 6x6. Hi, Bliss. All right, so I'm going to let that kind of cure and dry before I come back into it again. And I'm going to come down and add in the black for his boots. And I'm going to do the same thing. I don't know if there's any sparkle today. All right. It's a little canvas for a baby's nursery. He was just born last night at 9 p.m. last night. All right. Just little. Probably wellies, I guess. And if you're just coming in, these are pit markers. He weighed 7 pounds, 9 ounces, and was like 21 inches long. He's about a week early than compared to what her original due date. But she had high blood pressure, and so they induced. But, you know, she teaches 5th grade. She had high blood pressure. Imagine that. And she's a first-year teacher. She's doing a really good job. Yeah, not really too big. He was real long. But he was really due like her original due date was like February the 8th. So he's about a week and a half early. All right. And I like the splotchy look on that first layer. And what I'm going to do is put a thin watered down layer on top. Because what it does is it keeps that from sliding or moving when I go and try to lay more of the same color. And then what I'll do is get a clean baby wipe and wipe his face back. And I want to make sure that I didn't pull any blue into, because every once in a while it'll bleed a little, which is why I like to do that layer. And the other thing I need to do before I go on to his pants is clean my hands. So she didn't pick a theme for the nursery. The nursery theme is vintage. She felt like just doing the shabby chic and the vintage would work longer, and it could transition and it wouldn't be so babyish. But I did record. I am recording. I don't know how long I've been recording, but all right, let me hit that with the heat gun. Thank you so much. Like I said, I am recording, and I will tweet pictures of him close up. I don't know that I'll get his face done tonight. We'll see. Sometimes they go really fast. And the other thing you have to do is watch that the glue on your hands doesn't get buried in him. All right, I'm going to do his pants. And usually when I do the pants, I use a pale blue. I have a lavender that I'm trying to find. A real pale lavender sometimes. And a gray, which is a cold gray number 4. The one that I use, this one is a cold gray number 6. And then I have warm grays, but I don't use them very often. And then I have a that's warm. I know that's warm. Cold gray number 3. So I have 3 tones of the gray, and I usually use these 2, and I'm probably going to use the blue, not the lavender today. don't use the warm grays very much. These are the Pitt pens. Yeah, they're the smaller ones. I actually like them better than the big ones. I bought some of these first and here and there, and then I started buying the sets. I didn't buy like the 72. I could never afford it. So I bought like a set of the 6 grays, a set of the landscape colors, a set of the flesh tone. Then I went into Bix and bought open stock and filled in some of the colors. Now I do have like, because I bought them in sets, I have 3 that are exactly the same, but I figure they will all get used. And some of the ones that I have duplicates are the ones I really like and use. This May blue I use a lot. And this, I think of it like a denim blue. And I have it in a script and a brush. I don't really care for the script pins as much. All right. So let's get his little pants over here. And I start with my lightest gray. And I just work on the edges. And I pull in. And I start getting some of my lines for the wrinkles that I want. And then I just kind of build. And then I can just come in and add some, I think of these as kind of highlights almost, the blues. And I'll come in and get the one color and then the darker. Hi, Janice. Doing a 16 by 20 canvas. It's vintage for a baby's nursery. Let me see if I can pull the camera in just a little more. And y'all can see the details a little better. I can't scoot them around too much because the canvas is so big. back to the lighter gray. Now I'm just trying to feather in some lines. All right, I think I like that. And he's got little buttons. And I'm just going to go in with the lighter color and then come back around. Actually, I think I'll come back in with the navy script pen. All right, so I think I'm happy with his pants. See if you can kind of get a better look. Like I said, this canvas is so big. And the next thing I'm going to do is get in some of the skin color. And I'm not really worried about the hat. Oh, my finger's too dirty. I had too much gray still on my fingertip on the... I just want to build up some skin tone and let that dry before I go in to do his face. And I'm going to take that gray and come in and kind of add his collar in. Just kind of give an illusion. All right, and I'm going to start getting the hat in. And actually, I'm going to do a layer of gray because it's real hard to tell where the hat stops in the photograph. It's got that black band, but it's also big, and so it looks like he's wearing his daddy's hat. I mean, I'm not sure if it's a kid's hat. It's so oversized, I'm not sure. Or if it's just intentionally that way. But that will kind of give an illusion of that band. And then what I'll do is I'll go in and add the blue. And let that dry. We have leftover barbecue that we got today, so pulled pork. All right, so now I'm just coming back in with the same blue that I used on the coat, but it's a second layer. And I'm just going to come in and add the shadows and give the coat more definition. Yeah, I mean, it just helps me keep my proportions. Yeah, I'm a lefty all my life. Only one in my family. But I cut with my right hand. I couldn't cut with my left to save my life. They didn't make me learn to write or try to change the way I wrote, but I guess they just didn't have left-handed scissors available when and my mom sewed, so I know I played with scraps and scissors, and she had a pedal sewing machine, so we would sit at the foot of the singer settle, and we'd get the scraps that she would throw on the floor when she was sewing, and we could do anything we wanted with those. I'm the only one, except for I have one aunt that is a lefty on my dad's side. All right, and I just cut up because I just want to reference. That arm was kind of weird. And I just want a little bit of a line. This arm is a little foreshortened over here, and it's a weird angle. The jacket's pretty oversized. Okay. I'm just trying to get an illusion of the buttons right now. Oh, see, I have never had left-handed scissors. Now, sports, I do both. Like, I can bowl left-handed, I can bowl right-handed. Most things in sports, they just didn't have the equipment for us. All right. I think I'm getting to the point where I'm good with the jacket. And I got a little blue on his skin here. All right, so let me pull it up and you can see the jacket a little bit. And like I said, I'm trying to keep it. I'm not concerned that it's painterly. I'm going to go in and work on the boots, which I know you can't really see now that I moved the camera in, but they're not going to take very long because I'm just going to add some hard lines around the edges. All right, so I'll pull that up so you can sort of see his boots. And then what I'm probably going to do is come in here and add a little bit of a shadow with the gray. Just kind of giving an illusion. That just sort of grounds him a little bit. All right, and I'm going to darken in this band for the hat. This is a black. Try to kind of give that patent leather. Then I'm going to go back to the blue and work it, making it look a little more 3D and not so flat. And all I like to do is usually pull in on the edges and darken, which helps with that illusion. And I'm just putting a dark line here and just barely pulling up because it's like poofy. And I'm trying to leave some of those whites there that I had. I really like the brush tip on these. They're pretty flexible. And I use a real light touch. Just trying to make sure there's not stuff I've pushed off onto the canvas. And cleaning my hands again. I'm pretty satisfied with how he's coming along. I'm going to get rid of the parts of his body that we don't need. Because really we're down to the face. A decorative artist. I've scrapbooked. I did marbling and some of that faux stuff back in the 80s. I tried oil painting. I've done acrylic. My dad's an acrylic artist. Watercolor. Are the quilted jewelry making. Pretty much, my dad says I do too much, and that's my issue. But he just doesn't understand mixed media art because he did oil and he did it, and then he did acrylics, and that was kind of it. So he just didn't understand why anybody would delve in other mediums. Here, I'm going to add some of the shadows. I want my darker gray, I think. I don't have any formal training. I'm certified to teach art, but I'm all self-taught. Just grew up with the studio access, and one parent that was crafty and one parent that was artistic. And a big basement that I like to hang out in. Yeah, my mom sewed and did more crafts, and my dad, well, still does, is an acrylic landscape artist and would do art shows. And then my step grandmother was also an artist. Yeah, I like to think I took some from both. And what's ironic is I have one sister that's a little artistic, but nobody else in the family is really artistic besides my dad and one sister. And she's more into, she got into digital scrapbooking, so she doesn't do physical art. Like, she does, it's that, those kits you buy, I don't know what it's called. It's not her own art. You just take all the clips. No, not a muralist, not a deck, no. You might be thinking there's a Debbie, I can't think of what her name was, that did all the stencils and wall mural stuff. I think that might be who, and it was Debbie something. I can't think. During the 80s, there was a, okay. I put it off. Now we have to do the hands and the face. Hands are usually not that big a deal. The colors that I use for the skin usually is a medium skin, which I don't use it much. I use this to clean up more. A light flesh, which is what I put on as a base coat. A cinnamon, which is not in their skin tone kit, but it ended up in one of my other kits, and I like to use it. It's one of the, I use it to put my details. And then this is a deep red, but that's not what I want. I want the medium flesh, which I have in a smaller. There we go. The deep red I usually use like for lips and stuff on some of the girls. And I don't use this a whole lot. I use it more on girls. So I am going to start just with the shading in the cinnamon. And again, I just kind of do an illusion. I may need to come back in with that maybe a little bit. I think I'm going to bring that down a little bit. All right. Again, I'm going to bring that navy coat and on top of his hands. Yeah, I have another one that's very similar that I did. I'll show you in just a minute. Let me move the camera in. But it's got a boy and a girl. That'll make it a little easier for the face. Here, let me get that other camera picture, and I'll show you if I can find it. That's horrible. He was behind me and I was looking over in the box. But this is the other one I have done. And it was a little girl and a boy and a sailor, which I'm made to look like my niece. Oh yeah, I don't even have any babies. I have cats. I have fur babies. I have to say, this is the part that stresses me out the most. So you will see me baby wipe, baby wipe. This child has big ears, like big. Poor baby. Again, I kind of go, it's just more suggestive, and let the shadows kind of create. Okay. And the other trick I do sometimes, if I'm in a rush, is get some a little bit of. Hi, Kathy. Well, the one thing that is a harder to do is it's harder to get your highlights in with this method, but sometimes I can blend the white and get more, like I'll have to come in and put some white in where the mouth is a little more. And I'll come in once I have the eyes. Where I want them. Then I'll come in with the white, because I'll have to put some white back in there because it had that flesh. No, I'm not to your caliber, Kathy, at all. I mean, I just don't have the patience anymore. And I'm just trying to get some white back in that space. Where I put that flesh. And this is where I use this really light flesh, because I really use it more to move the color around when I need to. Like if I get too much of the cinnamon, you can see how it's kind of lifting that out. And I can come back in. But I can't get the... I mean, I get fine details. Usually I'm working really small. With the fashion girls. But I almost use this color. Oh, yeah, I do them usually much smaller, but I just do like an illusion of a face. And it's very painterly. It's not the fine detail that Kathy gets. I can do, I just don't do it on a regular. I just don't have that patience. feel like it's too squared off. In the chin. And it may be that I have the shirt kind of in the way. So I've got some of that away. All right, I think that may be what it's going to be for right now. All right, and I'm going to give him some light blue eyes. I wished this is a paint pen for the highlight. I wished I had bought I need to go buy the one size smaller. Giving just a little bit of a suggestion of an eyelash in there. Normally, I'm doing Fashion Girls, and they have mascara and, you know, eyeliner and I don't have his mouth open enough. So let me add some suggestion of the lip back. Down here. And the other thing is, he doesn't really have any eyebrows. So I think that I'm just gonna give a little shadow there. And I may come in and make him just a little bit of a blonde, since he really doesn't. Just to add in a little illusion. Okay. Okay, and I think that's too dark. And there's too dark in there. Thank you, Iffy. Because I usually am just kind of giving an illusion of some of the features. I think I'm going to take a little bit of that pinker tone. I think he might be as done as he's going to get. Okay, so he needs a coat on top of him to protect him so that you can't scratch any of his surfaces off. And I think I'm going to sign it. You can't see. Let me back the camera out. You can see the whole canvas again. All right, and I think I'm going to sign it right here around this. I need a new set of the black in the medium and the script. And I want to put his date of birth for the date. That way she'll have his name and his date of birth is buried in there. I started it last night. I didn't glue or anything. I pulled all the papers and kind of got my concept together. So let me start on his boots. And usually what I do is leave this relatively thick and just let it dry. My brush needs to get because I don't like to, I'm afraid the face is gonna smear. if it's too wet still. So usually what I do is I just pat. Until I'm comfortable that he's encased. Right, heat gun. I'll dry him. And then I'll hold him up a little closer so you can see him. And I think part of it, I get real critical because I'm looking so like close. When you guys aren't with me, I'm like nose to the canvas practically and take my glasses off. I've been working on my portraits. I did some cat ones, some pets, with the craft paints and the colored pencils. But I don't have very many colors of the colored pencils. I want a portrait set. Just like I don't have very many colors of the Neo 2s. I just have the little set of 15, 10. And but I want to try to work more like Dee Dee does with the colored pencils over the craft paint and do some of that. And work on my portraiture. Now I have used the Neo Color 2s and sealed them with the matte medium and then come back with the Faber-Castell. Yeah. You gotta have more than that to do much. And I have a set of, this is the set of the colored pencils that I got. And I really like them, but there's only 36. So I think what I want to do is kind of do the same thing that I did with the Faber-Castells, is get some of the sets. However, really, I don't know if I really like the Derwent. I like that they don't break. I like the creaminess of them. All right, let me pull him up and get a little bit closer look at his face. I think it came out okay. And then his jacket down to his boots. And like I said, we was just trying to get something not too infant, more toddler, little boy toddler, and vintage. So I think she'll like it. And then it's got that personal little touch with his date of birth and his name in it. So I'm real pleased with how it came out. But thank you all for watching. I am going to stop the recording and go put my laundry in the dryer. And